I was offered the gold juice 3 times in my 20s, my 30s, and
What's
my 40s.
that?
The gold juice that I will live forever and I'll have whatever I want.
I wish I never seen that. This is a warning to everybody watching this video. These TikToks were not meant to be seen by any humans. And you may be wondering, Sean, how bad could these TikToks possibly be? It gets darker than you could ever imagine. I'm gonna be deep diving into these TikToks and you're coming with me. Yes, you don't get scared now. You know what you signed up for. You clicked on the video, so don't run now. And make sure you watch to the end because this is gonna change your reality. And don't watch alone because this is gonna get terrifying. What's even scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 60% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
A DoorDash delivery driver was seen dropping off the food, but then watch what she does. She takes a step back, takes a picture of the food, and then sprays something all over the food. The man said, as soon as they brought the food inside, I noticed my wife start eating and started choking and gasping, and after she had a couple of bites of her food, she actually threw up. He said, I had to look at the bag and seen that there was some kind of spray or something. The bag had been tampered with, so I pulled up my doorbell camera and seen that the lady who dropped the food off actually tampered with it on purpose for some reason. And when he attempted to contact the driver, she had already blocked him on the app. He said he immediately reported this to DoorDash and the police, and he's never met the woman before, and he did leave a tip. Here's the receipt showing on the almost $28 order he left a $2 tip. The driver was then banned from the app but has not yet been charged with any crime. They want the woman identified and charged, and depending on the substance she used and the harm that it caused, she could either be charged with a level 5 or level 6 felony. The man is reminding everybody, if you order food from anywhere, make sure you have a doorbell camera. But prayers to these poor people. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
Imagine it's a long day, you know, you had work. You're just waiting for your food, you're nice and hungry, you know, you take a bite out of your food and then you start dying. Just to realize this lady pepper sprayed your food and then you get caught in 4K. I'm gonna have my lawyer in the corner rubbing his hands together, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's over.
Would you swim in here for $1 million? People didn't realize that this is what seafoam actually is. For years, people have always seen this as just a bit of fun. Like, if you're down the beach and there's seafoam, people go swimming in it. Not to mention the obvious dangers that is pretty deadly to do this, just purely for the fact that kids will literally get lost in here and it's obviously not good. But that's not the main reason why you can't swim in this. Seafoam looks harmless, but it's basically the ocean's version of shit, where the sea spews out everything that it couldn't break down itself. It's packed with rotting fish, sewage, toxic algae, bacteria, all mixed up into this big cocktail that makes it come out like that. During storms in Australia, people jumped into this as the sea piled up, not realising what this was, and a lot of people actually got quite sick from it. Also going in not realising it's spewing out dead jellyfish, which, yeah, by the way, can still sting you, so you're getting that as a bonus as well. So if you do see this in the sea and you're tempted to go and take a swim, definitely don't, because it's definitely going to do you a lot more harm than good.
Oh, we are not swimming here. I know it may look like I shook my head and said yes during the video, but you're just seeing things. That was not me. That was AI. I plead the fifth.
Hey, y'all better be careful when y'all getting inside them Waymo cars. Not even because them Jones can malfunction and ultimately crash, and not because them Jones is a self-driving car. You can have people hiding in the back of the little trunk spot, y'all. This lady said she ordered a Waymo car for her daughter, and when her daughter opened it, it was a man behind the seats. Look at this shit, y'all.
Why the fuck are you in the trunk?
That's why, ma'am, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, yeah, they should want to let me out. They should.
Why are you in it?
Huh? They just put me in here.
Who put you in?
The
what?
The people. Yeah, I'm that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. Just look.
Fool, he said they put him in the trunk. Who the hell was they? The car put you in the trunk, fool? My whole thing is, how the hell didn't it detect that someone was still in the car? Let's just say, for instance, that girl got in the car and this man was like a kidnapper or some shit. Or he was a Jason Michael Myers type of nigga. That shit could have went bad, fool. So you already had the Jones getting into car accidents, driving through drive-thrus. Now you got people in the back seat and the junk can't detect them. I need y'all to let me know down below in the comments. Have you drove in one of these? Or will you be driving in one of these?
Like, if you're going to lie, at least try to come up with a better excuse. What do you mean they put you in here? There's nobody in the car.
Extra Morbid Facts, Part 93. On July 5th, 2011, 37-year-old Kelly Thomas, a homeless man with schizophrenia, was beaten, pinned down, and repeatedly tased by Fullerton police during a violent encounter captured on audio and surveillance footage. Officers had responded to a call about someone allegedly breaking into cars, and when they found Thomas rummaging through trash near a bus depot, they claimed he became uncooperative during questioning, a claim later disputed by witnesses and contradicted by portions of the footage. As officers piled on top of him, Thomas screamed for his father, begged them to stop, and cried out that he was being killed. Prosecutors later noted he said, "Dad, help me," 31 times, "Help me, God," 26 times, and "Okay" or "I'm sorry" over and over as he slipped into unconsciousness. He arrived at the hospital in a coma with severe head trauma, multiple broken bones in his face, irreversible brain swelling, and died 5 days later. 2 officers were charged, including one for second-degree murder, but both of them walked free after the case collapsed in court.
Kanye was investigating Kim Kardashian and the rest of the Kardashians after he told us about Diddy. There's a new lawsuit against Kanye West from his former employee who said that he was hired as a director of intelligence and he was hired to look into Kim Kardashian and the rest of the Kardashian for alleged trafficking. Kanye's former employee, who was hired in 2022, alleges in his lawsuit that Kanye requested an investigation into Kim Kardashian and her family. He reported that Kanye claimed that the Kardashian clan was connected to criminal enterprises, including trafficking. And this shit is crazy to me because we know that Kanye back in 2020 was exposing Diddy and he was even exposing Kim Kardashian. He tweeted, "Kim was trying to fly me out to Wyoming with a doctor to lock me up like the movie Get Out because I cried about saving my daughter's life yesterday." He said, "I put my life on the line for my children, that North's mother would never let her sell her tape."
This video of P. Diddy and Ashton Kutcher did not age well.
Without whom I wouldn't be here, so thank you. And I also just want to thank everyone who voted for me and MTV, of course, and to all the ringworms out there. I just want to say
It's so good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say everyone will suffer.
This is why you should never answer the door for anyone you don't know until you're able to confirm who they actually are. These 2 men were posing as DTE workers and said they were coming to check on gas leaks in the homes, and when the owner let him in, they tied up his wife and then took him to the basement and unalived him.
Or DTE. We're checking for gas leaks.
And this wasn't the first time they went there. The day before, they tried to enter with the same scheme but weren't let in. They returned the very next day, but this time they had vests on with DTE, a clipboard that had a DTE paper, and even DTE badges on their cars. That's when 72-year-old Hussein Murray let them in, and they tied up his wife, took him to the basement, unalived him, and then left with items from his home. The men were identified as 37-year-old Carlos Hernandez and 39-year-old Joshua Zuazo, and they were both given life terms without the possibility of parole. Rest in peace to Hussein. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
Okay, what kind of sick side hustle is this? You could have just sold candy bars if you were that down bad. You don't have to hold someone hostage, unalive them, and then rob their house. Like, that's just so unnecessary. So now you're in jail for the rest of your life. Someone lost their life. What? For what?
The head coach of Michigan didn't get arrested because he was cheating, but because he broke into the woman's house that he was cheating with and threatened to take her life and then his own. And the crazy part is she didn't even snitch on him. The school found out because he DoorDashed Plan B to his office. And the DoorDash driver recognized him and then told the school. The school looked into it and found out he was giving her a 55% raise. The school then fired him with no pay. He lost $13 million he lost his wife and 3 kids. So he loses everything, leaves his house, and breaks into the house of the woman he's cheating with and threatens her. He then stays there debating that if he's going down for all of this, that she should too. Thankfully, she was able to get away and call 911, and police later found him at a church. So because he wanted to cheat on his wife, he lost his dream job, 13 mil, his wife and kids, and now his freedom because he's behind bars and is set to see a judge tomorrow. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
Breaking news, a mystery woman is now set to be arrested in the David and Celeste case. As you may recall, on Monday, the tour manager for David was testifying in front of a GJ. Now the attorney representing the state, i.e. Celeste, told the attorney representing David's tour manager that she is going to have a judge issue a quote body attachment. This is to force a female witness to testify before the GJ. The unidentified female witness was supposed to be there as well, however, she was a no-show. This is when the attorney representing the state got highly frustrated and said that she would have authorities bring the female witness into custody and testify before the courtroom. However, as I previously mentioned, we do not know who the female is, but she is represented by the same attorney as David's tour manager. A bodily attachment is a court order issued by a judge that directs law enforcement to take a person into custody and bring them before a court. This is typically used to make compliance with civil court orders, not criminal charges, although it does lead to a physical arrest and detention. A judge typically issues this when an individual is found in civil contempt of court for willfully disobeying a court's order, or for failing to appear to a required civil court hearing. This is the process of the bodily attachment. First, the individual is served by law enforcement. Then law enforcement officers find and detain the individual. And unlike a typical criminal warrant, the preliminary goal is to compel the person to appear in court, not necessarily to jail them for a set period of time. Then the individual is brought before a judge within 48 hours. Failure to comply could then lead to charges. As previously mentioned multiple times, we do not know who the mystery woman is. To stay up to date on this case, make sure you click the playlist below. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
Yep, arrest everybody except for the guy that's clearly guilty. Oh, you were in a relationship with this girl that was found unalived in your trunk. You're good, bro. You could never have done such a thing. But a random unidentified person, yeah, you're going to jail. This is some top tier police work.
Okay, people have just found out why we actually get nightmares. When you're dreaming about falling, being chased, dying, or anything else horrible that happens in a nightmare, there is actually a very, very smart part of your brain that is working here, and it's definitely not what you think it is. Think of it like your brain is running a survival simulation. You're basically playing a video game. Well, I don't really want to in the middle of the night. It's testing your reaction to fear, danger, and stress all while you sleep to basically level up your body in a way. I think mine's like Prestige 3. And it does this testing various situations with you so that you're better prepared when you're awake. Now I know, this sounds insane. You're like, no, that's just absolute bullshit. Like, why would they do that? But no, it is true. It is your primal survival instincts kicking in. Like, our brain has evolved over thousands of years, but we're still the same as these Donnies. I mean, it's literally an ancient defense mechanism. Your brain rehearsing the worst case scenarios ever, so if anything happens, you're more prepared for it. And as I say, this would have happened back in these days where these Donnies would have been dreaming about tigers chasing them or something coming and eating them, so that when that did genuinely happen, they were actually prepared for it and could survive.
Proof that Hollywood is evil.
Look at her. She's so sweet.
Hey, she powerful too.
Yeah, I did magic on my brother yesterday.
Don't talk, sweetheart. It's okay. You're a silly man. I can talk to kids.
She powerful.
I know.
Because that's a lot of people right there.
In that IG live clip, we clearly see Kevin Gates and what seems to be his daughter. Kevin Gates for a long time has claimed to have powers from a world we can't see. So in the midst of him talking about him and his daughter being powerful, we hear her say, "I did magic on my brother yesterday." It's at that point that Kevin Gates covers her mouth and starts shaking his head. We even hear the little girl say, "Why did you cover my mouth?" And Kevin Gates reply, "There's just too many people on here." What? I also found these cover arts of Kevin Gates showing a little symbolism. Here we see him covering his mouth. Some say that's the vow of silence. And here we see more of the symbolism. Keep in mind, this is the same man who went on multiple interviews and podcasts and claimed that he turned a car battery back on with his bare hands. People have long hypothesized that magic, magicians, and a link to the other side exist in Hollywood and entertainment. Comment below, let me know, am I onto something or am I tripping? Wake up.
There's another parallel between Chris and Ghislaine. See, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine weren't just predators, they were also financial criminals. Evidence shows that JP Morgan Chase Bank massively underreported Epstein's suspicious transactions to the U.S. government for decades, potentially breaking federal anti-money laundering laws. JP Morgan reportedly opened 134 accounts and moved over $1 billion for Epstein, while ignoring warnings it could fuel his crimes. And Deutsche Bank did the same. Now, what does this have to do with Kris Jenner? Well, if you know anything about her rise to power in Hollywood, you know she's faced allegations of money laundering and shady business deals, maybe not on the same level as Epstein and Ghislaine, but the pattern is undeniable. And then Kris has also been accused of running a tax scam through her own private church. Kris calls herself a lover of Christ on social media, but calling her a Christian is a stretch, especially since she literally owns a church that hits members with insane fees. In 2009, Kris founded California Community Church, where members have to pay $1,000 a month and also donate 10% of their income. And since the church is registered as a charity, Kris gets a 10% tax break every year. Meanwhile, those monthly membership fees go straight into her pocket. And whenever one of her kids needs a tax write-off, they just donate to her church, keeping the money in the family. And get this, Kim was recently caught listing Kris's church as the beneficiary of her eBay charity auctions. Tax records from PayPal charitable giving fund show California Community Church raked in nearly $45,000 from Kim's sales. But there's more. Reports have been floating around that the Kardashians' constant real estate flipping might be another way they move money around. After news broke that Kylie is building yet another mega home right next to Kris's mansion, people started speculating online that all this non-stop construction could be part of a larger money-moving scheme. And then there's Corey Gamble. There's so much sketchy stuff about Corey that he deserves his own video, but we have to mention him here because according to Kanye, Corey is the link between Kris's rumored criminal operation and law enforcement. Corey is rumored to have very deep ties to intelligence circles and some seriously powerful players. Back in 2022, Kanye claimed Corey was CIA, saying he was sent in to infiltrate the family. And then this video leaked of Kanye talking to someone on the phone and again claiming that Corey is CIA.
Yes, Corey's CIA. Like, you didn't even have to say it. I know it.
So when you put all these things together, it's not hard to see why people are side-eyeing Kris and those Epstein rumors. It's like suddenly Kanye's comments about Kris don't sound so crazy anymore.
Breaking, shocking news. This is going viral on X right now. Shrimp at Costco. You may be thinking it's a bit of a bottom feeder. Well, people were horrified to find out that it's a product of India. Now, you may be thinking, India, what's wrong? I mean, well, we know that. How's the water supply over there? What clean water possibly could these shrimp be from, if they're from India? Consumers are also shocked to find out that the classic Christmas tin box of little crackery cookie type things are also a product of India, which there's footage coming out of India of them making it in a factory, and well, it's not necessarily up to the standards that we have over here, and many people were a little bit shocked to find that out. Now, I'll also say you don't really want to be eating shrimp anyway, unless you can get wild caught shrimp. That's all farmed. Farmed shrimp is toxic. It's disgusting. They have to pump them full of antibiotics and a ton of preservatives and whatnot to make them last. It's pretty freaking gross. You should just not eat shrimp, honestly, unless you can get it wild. But wild is way more expensive. I mean, pick your poison, right?
You know, this is no hate to any other country, but I think our food should be sourced from where we are. You know, I would rather my food be like either local or at least, you know, like a couple states away. I'm not really trying to eat no frozen shrimp from India. That's just me. If y'all want to eat some foreign shrimp, go for it. Let me know how it is.
I was offered the gold juice 3 times in my 20s, my 30s, and
What's
my 40s.
that?
The
Perfect.
gold juice that I will live forever and I'll have whatever I want. The gold juice. You never offered the gold juice?
No, I'm a scumbag comment. What's the gold juice?
I don't know, but I didn't drink it and I didn't want it. And
is this in
I noticed when all the girls, certain girls on Orange, changed. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's like a real thing. Like, it's all a real thing. And it's scary because they send, like, people after you and they can, like, kind of moonlight as, like, a friend or...
Guys, I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think I've ever heard them call it that, but I think we know exactly what she's talking about, especially when she mentioned the living forever part. Now, how many actors and actresses do we need to come out and all speak about similar things like this before we start taking it seriously? I keep telling you that they have to tell you these things, because if they don't, then there is karmic retribution involved. They know they can say things like this and people will just laugh it off as humour.
Fans are reporting that they felt a demonic presence when attending Bad Bunny's recent concert. Fans even started to make it into a meme by taking videos saying that the concert just feels demonic, but it became extremely dark when this song Botanico came on, where there were masked demons dancing all over him and the concert turned all red. Even the music video to this song is extremely dark. It's this monster looking thing that creeps up into this woman's room, and it actually ends up becoming Bad Bunny himself. Those who attended this concert are even advising people, if you're gonna go see Bad Bunny's concert, then schedule your bathroom breaks whenever this song comes on. And at one point, those demons that were around him, you can't really see because the concert gets really dark, but they start grabbing and pulling on him like he's being sacrificed or something. If you've seen my old videos, you know that this is no surprise because he's been showing this symbolism for quite some time now, and it was only a matter of time until this started happening in real life in concerts. You're looking at the man who had the second most streams in the world on Spotify in 2023.
Y'all ever look at old school maps and realize that there's mermaids and krakens and fucking sea creatures in the corners? And some of them have depictions of ice walls with actual passageways that lead to maybe other worlds? And don't get me wrong, medieval and Renaissance map drawers were probably relying on sailors' tales to draw these maps, and how those tales and myths blurred with geography, and how today we think of a map as precise and scientific, but back then, a map was as much as an artistic interpretation as a factual guide. Some historians think that the ice walls drawn on these old maps might have just been a practical warning that wooden ships of the era weren't exactly built to ram through frozen waters. Or maybe they were deliberately drawn to hide what explorers had actually found. Maybe ships did reach lands beyond the frozen edge. You know, instead of drawing the actual fucking coastline, they filled the margins with monsters and icy fortresses, leaving curious eyes to assume it was all dangerous imagination rather than a real hidden world. Or it could have just been map drawers that were bored and didn't like the fact that their ocean was empty, so they had to add a kraken or a mermaid or a sea creature. Or maybe those wild tales of sea serpents and mermaids weren't entirely real, and they're just the result of the sailor's mind fucking losing it after being on endless water for so long. Or maybe they all had untreated syphilis and they were just going crazy out there. Mermaid syphilis, though. You notice when we talk about people doing horrible stuff on islands, people always think the tropics. But the truth is, it doesn't have to be that far away. It doesn't have to be in the Caribbean. It doesn't have to be in the tropics. It could be in the middle of a Great Lake. Take North Fox Island in Michigan, for example. In the 1970s, it became one of the darkest secrets hiding in plain sight. What was supposed to be a summer camp for troubled boys, funded by a supposedly charitable man named Francis D. Sheldon. On paper, it was all about helping kids and preserving nature, but behind that polished smile, he was running a front, because that wasn't a summer camp. It was a trafficking ring, one connected to a network of predators, operating not just on the island, but across the whole state. When it started unraveling, Sheldon vanished, like disappeared off the face of the earth, never charged, never found. To this day, no one knows what happened to him. Supposedly, he went to the Netherlands, and yet, while everyone talks about the mystery, almost nobody talks about the infrastructure that allowed it to happen. And it's because there are thousands of places like that. Not just in Michigan, but there's vast areas of private land, islands with no docks, forests with no mapped roads, compounds tucked away behind no trespassing signs that even drones can't fly over without permission. Every state's got its version: fenced-off wilderness, underground bunkers, ghost towns that never officially closed. And the scariest part in North Fox Island wasn't a myth. It wasn't hearsay. It was real. It was proven. The whole thing was documented in police reports. But hey, it got brushed under the rug because it's just regular old guys doing what rich guys do best, buying prophecy and calling it philanthropy.
There's a theory that mimics don't copy your voice to trick you. They copy your voice because they're already standing behind you. One of the creepiest mimic encounters comes from a guy who went hiking alone in the Appalachians. He said around sunset, he heard his own voice calling his name from somewhere deeper in the woods. At first, he thought he was imagining it until it called again. Same tone, same pitch, but the words were slightly off, like a recording that was too perfect. He yelled back, "Who's there?" And the voice answered, but this time, it didn't sound like him. It sounded like someone trying to sound human. He froze because whatever was calling him started repeating the same sentence over and over, like it only knew one line. "Come here, I found something. Come here, I found something." Same inflection every time. He started backing up the trail when he heard leaves crunching to his left, something massive pacing him step for step, but when he looked, nothing. Then the voice whispered right beside his ear. He sprinted back to his car and the voice followed him the entire way, calling his name in voices that weren't his anymore. He made it out of the woods and lived to tell the tale. People say mimics don't lure you by accident. They wait until you're alone and call you using the last voice you'd ever expect to hear. Stay weird.
They found beds deep under central London, and every single one of them has a barcode.
keep
The old
watching.
beds. New barcodes on each bed, you know, like already like planning. Why would you have them? Oh, these are single beds, maybe for the kids. That's mental though, it's just that one door that takes you right down here to this place, bro. What are you finished fitting little babies' beds? Smaller kids, that.
Some people say these are World War II bunk beds. Others think there's something else. But looking at the beds, they look brand new, fresh metal, no rust. And those barcodes, I asked ChatGPT what they could mean. And this is what it said. These barcodes look like hospital or lab inventory tags, the kind used to track beds, equipment, test samples. But that only raises more questions. Why would modern medical barcodes be found under London in a site that most people thought was abandoned since World War II? Others believe it's something much darker. One thing's for sure though, these beds weren't left there by accident. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
Something is seriously off about the Wicked movie. First and foremost, we have the obvious transformations of Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Here's them before Wicked, and here's them after. That's not even mentioning the weird behavior that they've had in multiple interviews. This next clip is a brief example of some of the behavior I was talking about.
Elphaba and seeing this character, you're not gonna tell me.
Not the time, helicopter!
People are saying that their relationship is giving trauma bond more than anything else. That is the literal tip of the iceberg because the original Wizard of Oz movie was said to be cursed. In fact, it was alleged that Judy Garland not only was treated so badly on set, but had a horrible diet that consisted of little to no food to keep her thin for the movie. So when keeping that in mind and Judy Garland carrying that for the rest of her life and then seeing these transformations from a similar movie, I mean, it really makes you think. It is also very important to point out that Ariana Grande's personality has shifted so much since her portrayal of Glinda in Wicked. Ever since taking the role, it seems she speaks softly and more like a baby in interviews, and the behavior is just off. All that is not even mentioning the movie is literally called Wicked and full of witchcraft, guys. Hello? So hypothetically, what if this Wicked movie is a lot darker than we think? Is it possible that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are going through a similar rite of passage to have these huge roles in Hollywood that Judy Garland went through? Comment below, let me know, am I onto something or am I tripping? Wake up.
Yeah, it really doesn't take a genius to see that there is a very disturbing thing going on here. I don't really blame Ariana Grande too much because it looks like she's the victim in this situation. She's got this like grown man woman that's very possessive and just crazy. You know, a lot of y'all are saying she's a woman, but bro, if you see the triceps on that lady, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know about all that. You know, that's just conspiracy. You know, I'm not trying to have her and her shiny head come tackle me. I'm good.
Plastic inside of a burger? This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go.
A McDonald's sandwich.
Okay.
And thankfully, I don't eat buns, so I use a fork.
True.
And was starting to fork through my burger.
What's that?
And found this gigantic strip of plastic.
Wow.
But that's not all.
What?
There's more.
Come on.
Literally, my entire sandwich has chunk of plastic in it.
How?
What the fuck?
Who the did that? Who put plastic in that quarter pounder? Is this a prank? Because that lady just showed us 2 pieces of plastic inside of that burger. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game, guys. You know what time is it? Shh. Shut up! Who in their right mind would do that? Now I'm starting to wonder, is that part of the burger? Or did somebody put it in there? Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Maybe that lady put it in there and she just making up a story just to have something to post about. Shh. Shut up! It's not a game, guys. Listen, how many times I gotta tell you? How many times I gotta tell you that McDonald's is the best? And if you ever want to eat a quick burger and you don't got time to wait or pay more than the other burgers cost, head to McDonald's. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game, okay, guys. And I told you what to do when it comes to that place. Shh. Shut up! I told you to go get the deals. You got the app? You downloaded it? Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game, okay, guys. You know what time it is. But I tell you one thing. If I ever, which I never will, go to McDonald's and I get a quarter pounder and I bite into it, right? And there's plastic in it, I'm gonna pull up back up to that drive-thru like, yo, come here, my mans.
Do you recognize any of these people up here? Do you know what they all have in common? Can you figure it out by looking? They all have one thing in common, and that's that they've all died. Well, at least they told us they all died. You see, I've been exposing celebrity and musician and politician fake deaths for 2 years, but it took me almost a full 2 years to get down to the bottom of why they really faked their deaths. Some of you aren't ready for it. See, I used to just think that they faked their deaths as these people and became these people for trauma-based mind control, to control the masses. But no, it's something much, much more sinister. And I'm gonna prove it to you in the most unlikely of places. The show Breaking Bad and Walter White, aka Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston, who used to be this guy right here, SNL star Phil Hartman. But I've done a video on this, how Phil Hartman faked his death and became Bryan Cranston, and I've proven it. You can go watch the full video, but for those of you that need to be caught up, look at how perfectly their faces fit together. But there's more. And here's Phil again, and here's Bryan again, and here's Phil's wife, and here's Bryan's wife. And I always say they bring their wives with them, but this isn't what I want to show you. What I want to show you is going to prove why they do this, which I haven't gotten to yet. And just to fully prove this to you and fully catch those of you up that didn't see that video, let's look at that dot and that dot. Notice how they're both on the forehead wrinkle, and that one, and right under the forehead wrinkle, and how the forehead wrinkles match. And well, would you look at that? It's Phil Hartman and Bryan Cranston. And here's where this goes from kind of believable to totally unbelievable, unless you are the most open-minded, awake souls. Because like I said, the proof comes in the most unlikely of places, the show Breaking Bad and Walter White, because I couldn't help but notice something. A random clip that just seemed suspicious. Let's see if you notice anything.
Yeah, see, Presidente Grant, very important man. See?
You see in that clip, he gave a bunch of cleaning women $100 bills and got to the 50 and suspiciously said, Presidente Grant, a very important man. Presidente Grant as in Ulysses S. Grant, our 18th president. Do you notice anything suspicious about him? What about now? That's Walter White, the person that said Presidente Grant is a very important man. So what? They look alike. There's been billions of people. People are bound to look alike. But did you notice what's right there? So maybe they're long-lost relatives, and they all share bloodlines anyway, but it couldn't possibly be the same person, right? I mean, their lips wouldn't match up so perfectly, and their nose wouldn't match up so perfectly, and the eyebrow wouldn't smooth over perfectly on both sides, and the eyes wouldn't, and that mole wouldn't be in the exact same place. Would it? Would it really if they were just doppelgangers? Well, what if not only there's one mole, but two? 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And I'm not even done yet. Notice how when we scroll over, there's another mark right there, in the exact same place. Now you tell me, what are the odds that he says Presidente Grant, a very important man, and just happens to look just like him with the same beard and mustache and nose and moles and moles and moles? You tell me. Oh, and Bryan Cranston, aka Phil Hartman, he just happened to play a president on SNL. President Clinton. You want to know how many times he played that president? Phil Hartman played Bill Clinton on SNL. A very specific 18 times. Do you remember what else I said was 18? Can you see that up there? Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th president, who sadly died on July 23rd. And Phil Hartman, aka Bryan Cranston, aka Ulysses S. Grant, just happened to have a birthday on July 24th, but they celebrate it on the 23rd or the 24th. So what I am getting at, if you haven't connected the dots, is that he was born in 1822, and it's 2025. That's over 200 years ago. They fake their deaths because they can live a lot longer than you and I. And to avoid suspicion of that, they need to fake their deaths and recreate themselves. Now I have theories on how they do this, whether they're fallen angels and literally not human, or if they drink a Brinabrome, or if they drink the gold juice, which is literally gland from a sperm whale that is proven to help stop aging. I don't know for sure. My opinion is it's probably a combination of them all, but to deny this is to do yourself a disservice, to know the true reality of where you live and not be stuck in the reality that they presented to you so you couldn't figure stuff like this out. Well, I'm a guy that figured stuff like this out, and I'm just trying to help because I care. I'm literally just a guy that was a high school PE teacher for 20 years, and for some reason I have a gift to see through the lies, and once I figured out how much I had been lied to my whole life and how much I hate liars and lying, I felt it my duty to help share with others so they could figure out the true reality of their God-created realm, where maybe fallen angels are deceiving the entire world as a revenge to the Most High because they're stuck here. And well, personally, I think we come and go here for a little experience, learn our soul lesson and go. And well, they're just trapped here under the firmament. But of course, all this entertainment purposes, I really just think those are two coincidental dots, just like it's coincidental that those dots are the same and their faces are the same, even though faces aren't symmetrical unless they're the same, and even though people having the same dots and looking alike is less than 1 in a trillion odds. But of course, just coincidence, people. Entertainment only. I don't really believe in fallen angels and vampires and a Brinabrome. Nah, entertainment only.
Sometimes people say things that are so crazy, it just kind of starts to make sense. You guys let me know what you think about this one. Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're going to be on to the next one. Thank you.